Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about the coronavirus because everybody's talking about the coronavirus, so let's talk about it. All right, so I thought I'd just spill out some of my thoughts about it just because it's what's going around right now. Everybody's in quarantine, so let's get right into it.
He's going live, caught in an action, I can't rewind, and in my head I'm screaming, but out of my mind I'm still too young to feel this way.
So, if you live under a rock, basically what's been going on is this virus started in Wuhan, China, and at a local fish market of some sort, and the produce or the food or whatnot that was in the market, people ate. And because they ate it, they caught this virus. And this virus traveled at lightning speed around the world, in part due to the fact that it is so contagious, and another part due to the fact that China does business internationally with everyone. So there was kind of no holding this in. I also just want to state that I am not a licensed professional, but I do source all of my information from the CDC directly or from the governor and the news broadcasted in my state directly. So I don't like to read all the articles that put people's bias into them and twist information that may or may not be true. So it is always good to go right to your local state's information page or the CDC website to find information that you want. I'll try and link the ones for Massachusetts and for the CDC in general down below for you guys. Okay, so this virus has a lifespan of 14 days. This is more dangerous than the flu because it has such a long lifespan and you can be showing no symptoms. So for 14 days, you could have had it day 1 and you don't show symptoms until day 12 or something. And all of a sudden for 12 days, you've been going to soccer practice, you've been going to the store, hanging out with your friends, doing whatever, and you've passed it on to all these potential people, and then they pass it on. So that's really what's making this go crazy. Is people are passing it and not knowing that they are passing it, if that makes sense. But then all of a sudden they fall ill and they're coughing and they have a fever, and then they're thinking about all the places that they've been, and it's kind of already too late. You've passed it on to so many people you don't even know. So one thing I wanted to mention is for the young people who think that they're immune to it somehow, and that, you know, I don't know what you guys think, but for the people who do think that, it doesn't mean you can't be a carrier. It may present itself more subtly in your system. It might present more as a cold or something like that, but it doesn't mean you're not a carrier of it and can't pass it on to another person who is more susceptible to it with a pre-existing respiratory disease like asthma, or people who are my age that are potentially recovering from cancers. Just anybody can be recovering from cancer, whether you're a child to an elderly person. Like, everybody's susceptible to that, for example. So it doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what race you are. This just comes down to everybody is susceptible to it, and it's just best to stay home and follow the guidelines that everybody is putting out, because why would the whole world shut down for nothing? You know, I mean, there is a point that people think that the world is overreacting, and it's not that they're necessarily overreacting. They're trying to contain this as quickly as possible because it's so contagious. So if you are young and whatever, this isn't the time to be going out, because say the person you hang out with has a grandmother that they live with that they're now bringing it into their house. So, and it can live on surfaces for a really long time as well. So that's what's really just making this go crazy. So the whole point of this shutting down of the world is just to stop this vicious cycle from repeating over and over. I think that this entire pandemic situation is very revealing of how our country and our nation is approaching this and responding to this. I think it is good that everybody's trying to come together to help each other, but let's address this toilet paper situation, okay? So many people are asking, why are people buying absurd amounts of toilet paper? Well, here's the easy breakdown of why that's happening. People initially started buying toilet paper to prepare to quarantine. There were people who were already kind of cautious about this or had compromised immune systems, and they wanted to bunker down. They bought everything they needed to stay inside, and so that included toilet paper. So everybody that was preparing for the quarantine bought toilet paper. But then all of a sudden it became this vicious cycle where people were buying in such bulk that the people that didn't really need toilet paper were like, I need to get toilet paper for when I do run out. I'm not gonna have any available to buy because everything's being bought so quickly. So it's just rolling into this vicious cycle that people are buying in bulk, so I need to too, because there won't be any left for me. If that makes sense. Basically, everybody's doing it because everybody else is doing it. And innately as humans, we like to do what everybody else is doing. It's just part of who we are, but that's what people are doing. So if people saw people buying paper towels and groceries and toilet paper, that's what they're gonna do too, because they don't wanna eventually run out and not have access to it because it's all gone. So everybody's constantly buying toilet paper to make sure they're not the one that's the sucker that has no toilet paper. So it has nothing to do with the fact that this is a respiratory illness and virus and that it's gonna give you diarrhea or something like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the fear of not having any for yourself. That's really what's causing this whole toilet paper situation, is people just don't wanna have none left for themselves. Which I understand, but it's really like, why, I don't know. I don't think you need that much toilet paper for, I don't know, a single family home. You know what I mean? Like, people generally know how much toilet paper they go through. I'm not gonna get into the whole thing for a really long time, but I just kind of wanted to explain. People are not afraid of having gastrointestinal issues. It's more that there's a fear that there will not be enough for them when they need it. That's really it. And there was one guy who went around asking people, being like, why are you buying toilet paper? And they really could not answer. It was kind of interesting because they were like, because I need it, because I need to go to the bathroom. It's like, okay, well, you were going to the bathroom before this, but anyways, that is kind of the snowball effect that's happening. It's just fear. That's it. It's not that people are going to the bathroom any more than they were before. And this vicious cycle is worldwide. I have seen videos all around the world, United States, China, Australia, Europe, everywhere is just out of toilet paper because they're preparing to stay indoors for at least a month. All right, so let's get into the Massachusetts update. So I live in Massachusetts, and I just wanna kind of go over some of the things that are happening currently in Massachusetts. So Massachusetts is the 4th worst state right now. So the 4 worst states are Massachusetts, New York, Washington, and California, because I mean, they have high population. Washington mostly because they do a lot of business with China, and they had a lot of people flying back and forth internationally. But I live in one of the top 4 worst states of this coronavirus right now, and it is scary. The impact it's having on our community, on the nation, on everyone in the world. It's just starting everywhere. The quarantine started from, you know, no, you can't go anywhere with 100 people or less or more. And then it was down to 25 people or more. You couldn't have 25 people in the same space at the same time. Now it's then down to 10. So basically all retail stores and everywhere is shut down in my entire state, except for grocery stores and pharmacies so that you can buy medicine. But it is just wiped, guys. It's insane. I mean, anybody watching the news or that has social media is fully aware, seriously, unless you live under a rock, of what's going on. Okay, I stopped here at Walmart to look at all of the different options that are available right now. So let's see what's left. Oh my gosh, same thing with all the cleaning products. People are stocking up on all the cleaning products. All the Lysol wipes gone. Oh my gosh, even the bleach. That's all that's left. Here's the baby aisle. Most of all the diapers are gone. There's another aisle over here, and they have some. They actually have a pretty good amount that I think they just restocked. But in most places, this is wiped out. Here is the soap aisle, the hand soap aisle. There's nothing left. Apparently cotton swabs are very needed right now. That's so interesting. I'm not quite sure. Cotton balls and cotton swabs are out. So everyone here is quarantined for at least 3 weeks. Recently, the governor stated that the entire school system everywhere in Massachusetts is closed for 3 weeks. So this includes the clinical placement that I go to. I am currently doing my clinical placement at an elementary school, and that is closed. And then also my college is closed. So I have nothing going on, which is kind of a blessing in terms that it's time to rest because I was having 13-hour days, but at the same time, I'm now losing those clinical hours, losing the in-class learning time that I would usually be getting. And then on top of the fact, you risk getting sick every single time you leave the house. So my school had already been on spring break for 1 week, and then they closed for an additional week. And same thing with my clinical placement elementary school, they had already closed for a week. But now with this additional 3 weeks is kind of just scary because nobody really knows if anything's gonna reopen. Fear is of the unknown because we just don't know what's gonna happen right now. Second thing that is really detrimental, at least for me personally, is that all restaurants are closed. So they're only allowed to do takeout. We can't have anybody sit down, and I work at a restaurant. I serve and manage a restaurant. This has a huge impact on my job and my income, along with every other server and every other location that's closing as well. I'm just talking about my personal experiences, but the fact that I cannot make money is a lot. It's a big thing. As of right now, what's today? March 18th, and we had already shut our restaurant down, and restaurants cannot open until at least April 7th, along with the whole world. For 3 weeks, everything is shut down. So you can do takeout, but you can't have people sit in the restaurant, which is, you know, my entire business as a server. The families that I had cared for before are obviously quarantining as well, and I would go there so that they could leave. And they're not leaving, you know? It's just been a big change, and it's kind of been on my mind, which is why I wanted to talk about it with you guys and just let you know kind of what was going on, at least here in Massachusetts. Because of this, I did choose to file for unemployment. I am willing to take whatever I can get just because I am a college student. I don't have a job now, and I still have bills to pay for, just like anybody else living in society nowadays. I'll leave the link to that down below as well. But again, because hundreds of thousands of people are flooding the system, I don't know what's gonna come out of it really, because the system is just so overloaded and they're so overwhelmed with everybody filing that who knows when that will really go through. People who do have to stay in their companies are advised to stay 6 feet away from each other at least, which is really hard to do actually, because it's kind of awkward socially to have a conversation with somebody 6 feet apart. You kind of look crazy, but you have to do what you gotta do. So I have always been a germaphobe. I have always had hand sanitizer with me and everything like this, so this is nothing new for me. This is how I live all the time, kind of. Seriously, it's really bad. I wish I was not this much of a germaphobe, but I have hand sanitizer with me all the time. I wipe down my grocery cart every time I go into the grocery store. I regularly sanitize and clean my steering wheel. I always have Lysol wipes around the house. So I'm just kind of happy that the world is living up to my sanitary standards, because I think that everybody should be doing this. Everybody should still be washing their hands regardless of the pandemic. Like, even when this is over, and I hope it's over soon, people will still be washing their hands, because guys, you still need to be washing your hands even if there's not a worldwide pandemic. Sorry to break it to you. At this point, what can we do? And guys, what else can we do other than pray? Pray for peace of mind in the people who are panicking, for the families who have it, or the family members of those who have it, and everything that they're going through right now, and for the people who are not even being treated if they're 80 years or older, because there's just so many people in the hospital. You're the people, the medical staff that is working with all these people that are being exposed and literally putting their life firsthand on the line for all these people, because the more exposure that you're getting to this, the more you're apt to get it, you know? It's the fact that some people are sleeping in hazmat suits because once they take them off, they're contaminated and they don't have enough to replenish so many hazmat suits. So there are doctors and medical personnel sleeping in hazmat suits because they're working hours on end and can't afford to take off the hazmat suit and replace them. Kids who are not in school and rely on school for food, for safety, for care, for routine. Pray for all the kids that are not necessarily having the best time at home, not even counting being pent up at home, just the home life that they might be suffering with right now. Pray for the babies who are being born right now in the hospitals full of people with coronavirus. They can't do anything about it. There's babies getting this that some of them are recovering, some are struggling, but even the moms too, that they can't protect their baby. I think what's so scary is that there's no vaccine for this. No matter who you are, this comes down to everybody's a person. We're all just people, and no matter who you are, you're not immune to it, you know? Even if you're one family or one person, what you can do about it is stay home and wash your hands and, you know, clean. deep clean. Everybody thinks it's fine if I go out, I'm not gonna make a difference. But if you don't go out and you stay in, you're exposing one less person to this virus, and you're exposing one less life to this virus, because you don't know who you're gonna come in contact with. You don't know who's around you, who has asthma, who doesn't, who has respiratory illnesses, or is just getting over beating cancer. You know what I mean? Like, to have survived cancer and then you go out into this world and you give them this virus, that's pretty sucky. I don't know, I just think that it's crazy. Every single gym, bar, restaurant, everywhere is closed, and all I can say is I just highly suggest that you guys stay home and follow these precautions, because why not? Like I said, you're exposing less people to it, you're exposing yourself less to it. So just think about some of these things. Like I said, I will leave all the links down below so you guys can find out true information for yourself. But here in Massachusetts, it is going downhill fast. I know there's many places all over the country that have it, but just stay inside, guys, and wash your hands. That's all everybody's saying, so why not do it? Anyways, that's my thoughts for now, and I hope that you guys are staying healthy. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I upload every Saturday, so don't forget to hit the little bell so that you get post notifications. That's all I have to say for now. Stay healthy, you guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!